Welcome Spartans to Halo Book Club, a part of Evolved, your home for Halo. Halo Book Club goes beyond the video games and covers the Halo's extended media lore, from the novels, short stories, comic books, and more. Today I am your host David, and with me is Ian.
Hey David.
Hello Ian, our unbreakable record continues.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we're getting there. Today we have From the Soil to the Stars, which is a cool ass name. And similar like the last one we did where it was like Whispers in the Pyre. I was like, oh, that's a good name. I hope the story lives up. It doesn't. It does not. I knew it was kind of about ODST, so I was like, okay, this might be good. And no, it's one of those slice of life they call it, and it's just they're not our favorites. So anyway, let us get cracking. If you're new to the show, welcome. Halo Book Club is part of the Evolved, which hosts a whole bunch of other Halo-themed shows. So, Podcast Evolved is the main show. We also have a bunch of our older content on there. Vision Debrief, Build Blocks. HS Pro Talk is still ongoing. They are partners for the competitive side, so go check them out. We also did like the Halo TV show coverage when that was launching and exciting. So I know that's got a new lease of life over there on the Netflix. So if you want to listen over there, please do. Our website is haloevolve.co, which is pretty damn dope, so please go check it out. You can learn about all of our shows over there. Rate us, leave us a review on your podcast listening place of choice. Much appreciated. We like all our feedback. I also want to take a moment to thank our patrons, because we have a Patreon and those people are amazing. So guys, thank you all so much for enabling us to do this as often as we can. So if you're not subscribed, our patrons get a whole bunch of rewards, including early episodes. They get unique swag, access to our podcast soundtrack, an exclusive podcast show called I Would Have Been Your Podcast. It's very good. Go check it out. So that's patreon.com/HaloEvolved if you'd like to learn a little bit more. We also have a Audible trial link. If you want to go check that out, you can get obviously all of the Halo content on Audible, as well as like everything else Audible provides. So if you want to give us a little bump, you can use this URL for a quick trial. It's audibletrial.com/podcastevolved. So thank you very much. Ian.
David.
From the Soil to the Stars. What did you think?
It was alright. It was
alright.
I mean, compared to the other Waypoint story, what are these? Waypoint Chronicles, this is I think it's top 50%.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I didn't dislike anything I read.
Yeah. It felt like I guess we'll get into the story, but like, it's basically what, like 3 weeks or so before Operation Wolf, which was I'm blanking on the name of the book right now.
The Shadow of Reach.
Yeah, Shadows of Reach. So this is basically felt like a prologue to that. It's kind of what it was.
Teeny tiny prologue.
Yeah.
So the story stats. So it's the same as always. Author Alex Wayford, Jeff Easterling are credited. Publishers Halo Studios. You can get it on YouTube. You can get the PDFs. It came out on the 12th of March 2025. We're so close in, we can almost taste it. How close we are to being caught up.
Almost.
The length is 23 minutes, so it's on the normal average kind of time for these shows. Quick synopsis: we're in September 2559. Specifically, it starts on the 19th. The official synopsis is the Infinity's crew prepare to return to Reach for Operation Wolf. The legendary Spartans of Blue Team field test their Gen 3 Mjolnir armor alongside ODSTs of the 9th Platoon. So that might set you up for a story you think you're getting, but you don't get that story. So, like you said, it takes place a couple of weeks before they go back to Reach via Operation Wolf, which is the story that is told in Troy Denning's Halo's Shadow of Reach, which is a pretty good story. So it's all set around the station, which is Penteleon Station, around the planet called KC-59, which everyone just calls Casey, which I like. So this is the cool station that we've seen in various marketing materials for Halo Infinite. It's like a cylinder essentially that's just tethered to the planet, and this is where they make and develop the Gen 3 Mjolnir armor. So they're mining on the planet below, and the story just takes place a couple of minor. There's a little intro from Halsey. I think it's like an excerpt from her journal just talking about the armor, and then it needs to have a person in it to be, for hope and stuff like that. It's like, okay, generic Halsey being Halsey stuff. You got some stories about the miners being kind of talked up about how important their job is, mining titanium on this planet for the Spartans. Good job, miners. Interesting point of note is this Sangheili restaurant that's kind of mentioned, that she's reading a book of somebody who went to one, which sounds kind of cool. I kind of like that idea. And then we kind of move quickly then into a kind of cool story. The bit that I kind of liked was, okay, now we're picking up a story about like ODSTs that are dropping down to the planet for like training, and like their drop goes wrong. Essentially, one of them doesn't the chute doesn't deploy, so it's kind of like how we talk them through restarting the pod and stuff like that. And I enjoyed this. I didn't really know how it was going to end. People die in drop pods all the time in Halo, so like there is an element of danger here. It was the guy's first ever drop, so like, okay, he probably might die. So it was good. I liked it. I liked they kind of touched ground, and then they kind of just patted the rookie on the back, and then we move on to the next story, which is the meat of it. So we're about almost 15 minutes into this 20-minute story, and then we get to Blue Team, but told from the perspective of Stacker. So I think his Major Stacker, he might have a different Gunnery Sergeant Stacker, maybe. I think I should probably get that right. Sorry, apologies. So he's a pretty infamous character in Halo, because he's been through like almost all of the games across all the content. He has a whole trivia page that's worth checking out for yourself. I'm not going to mention any of it here. Just that, like, you know, pretty hilarious that they shove him into the story.
Yeah,
he has he's fun kind of little Easter egg thing, I guess. That exists through Halo, literally from the first game onwards. He is a Marine.
Wasn't he a sergeant?
Sergeant, I think, yes. I'm looking to see. I'm sure he has in the story. Do you know what? Why don't I just go to the story? I was reading it earlier.
Although hopefully, you know, he's been in the UNSC for Marines for I don't know how many years. Hopefully he's been promoted at some point in his life.
Master Sergeant. He is Master Sergeant Marcus Stacker of the 9th Platoon. So there we go. So yeah, you'd imagine he's been alive so long. He's so experienced. You think, okay, maybe they gave him a promotion or two. So yeah, he's leading this new unit. I looked him up because I thought maybe are we supposed to know who these guys are, but no, we're not. They're just we don't know these people. I think got the impression they were kind of put together essentially via Marcus Stacker to do this, to train with Spartans, to train Death Spartans as well. So there's a nice little story, little touch point there of like Stacker just literally reminiscing and observing the training that's going on in the station. They talk about how like all the war games are set up. There's various different like compartments for different operations. You've got Kelly doing hand-to-hand combat with ODSTs, teaching them how to like beat the crap out of grunts. You have Linda and Fred like sniping and murdering dudes with their training weapons and stuff like that. Brief little kind of fight being described here. And then John in the gym, which is kind of a little bit around the cool touch points, and I'm glad they kind of mentioned it here. So it was an interesting thing to kind of bring up at the end of the story, and showing, you know, it's in the camaraderie, I guess, you know, of everybody kind of working together, and then the ramp up, like you said, like the prequel essentially to the wood. So, and then it kind of ends, with Stacker touching back on a little kind of, I want to say it's a rhyme, kind of a song, kind of little poem thing. That is actually really kind of dope. I really like this kind of, I'm going to call it what do you call it? Like a poem, if you will. And when he said it, it kind of rings familiar. So when I looked into it, I was like, okay, this actually came from marketing and a trailer that I'd forgotten about from Halo Infinite, which is the, what did they call it? Lightbringers, which is about a bunch of miners kind of hanging around. Essentially, they're kind of in a cave in and they start singing this song. And the kind of the trailer just ends with like something knocking in the cave and light coming through. But I think the premise is set up as that the Covenant have invaded, kind of thing. So you don't know if it's friend or foe coming to these miners' aid. But it's a really emotional video. And it's kind of dope. I watched it again today, so I kind of really like that. And then that's kind of it, really. You know, the story kind of ends. You thought you were getting some kind of training, action-based story with Blue Team and ODSTs, and you did not get that, which is kind of the kind of meh kind of side of it. And that's kind of it, really. I mean, anything pop out to you in the story itself, or like any kind of?
Nah, yeah. I mean, basically, what you said was kind of how I felt about it too. It's, you know, there's some good stuff in there. It's interesting, but like you said, there's other than the brief issue with the drop pod, right? Was I don't remember exactly where it was in the story, but that was probably the most exciting part of the story overall. And then
Yeah.
we never really went into battle or anything like that. So it wasn't a ton there. It was just a little bit of exposition, I guess, but it's filling in a little bit, just a little bit of the story. It's not bad. I just like I said, not my favorite. Not doesn't like add a ton to the universe, but it's a good little bit of story, I suppose. I would have liked it to be a little bit longer and more like give me something a little bit more than just what it did. But
yeah, I would like the bit more blue team and ODSTs actually field testing some armor. That would have been nicer. I think the highlight of for me was the YouTube video, and I think you watched it as well.
Yes.
This one is really nicely put together, where it loops in one of the older trailers for Halo Infinite, which is the Step Inside trailer, which is where you see kind of the 0G armor being built, the Mjolnir armor being built in this space station. And it's really cool. The imagery is really cool. It's really well made. And I'm watching this at the Picard, I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm glad that they've kind of put this inside this trailer, this kind of YouTube. The auto trailer for the YouTube. I thought it was really good. And then there's some nice, really artwork that we get as well. Come through some of the concept art for like the Orcus armor that the ODSTs are wearing, because they're not just regular ODSTs. They are actually training in experimental armor, which is the Orcus armor, which is a really cool design. I really, really like this kind of semi-powered armor design. Which they did bring into Infinite, but I missed, and I had to like buy a premium pass to get. So like I'm so far behind in Halo stuff. By the time I look at this stuff and go, "Oh, that's really cool. How do I get it?" It's like, you can't get it. I would have had to pay for it anyway, so I'm not sure if I would have done that. But it's really nice. It's really, and I know you liked it too.
Yes, it's really And we were talking about this before we started recording, but I was looking at the image and I recognized the image, but I was thinking like I swear that was like relatively recent. Like that was the Halo Encyclopedia, like the new Halo Encyclopedia. Or like Infinite or something concept art, but apparently it was Guardians concept art. I'm like, I don't remember what in the world this was like when this came out for the Guardians, but I don't know. It's either way, it's awesome artwork. You know what it does remind me of, especially that shot of the back of it is I'm blanking on the name of that game. It was a big flop. It was supposed to be like you were like first person, it was first person shooter. You jumped into, it was sort of like something like Halo, Destiny, sort of in there, where you I'm sure our listeners are gonna remember what I'm talking about, but I just remember watching like the videos of it. You just hop straight into the army, climb, and you fly around. Gosh, what the heck was that game?
Oh, you are thinking of a game I played and I really actually liked it. It was BioWare's game. Not Cataclysm, but it had a stupid name like that as well. Anthem. Is that what you're thinking of?
I think so. Yes, Anthem.
Yeah,
that's what that armor looks like. At least like the back part of that, like it looks a lot like that. And I was like, that's the one thing I loved about Anthem was just like they had some really cool designs and artwork, and the game was a piece of shit. But yeah, I really like that. I really like that design a lot. I guess you said that is in Infinite now.
Was via the battle pass, the Frontiers battle pass. So like it's there, but I think to have gotten the armor, it's the premium one. So I think you had to pay to get that level of tier of battle pass to unlock the armor. I don't know if you can do it now again. I was talking to Steve briefly about it last week when we recorded. I don't think he got it either. But or he gets lots of stuff, but I don't think he buys the passes. But it's really nice. I was looking at some of the images of it as well. It's really nice.
Yeah, it is. I would love to see another ODST game with that armor. That would be fucking sick. Because between that and the Halo 2 ODST armor, like from the cutscenes, I'm blanking on. I'm bad with names. The what was it? The alternate cutscene, or maybe not alternate, but the cutscene from when the Pelicans crashed at the beginning of Halo 2.
Oh yeah,
the ODSTs.
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that armor. I mean, I know it's the rest of the game. But that armor, I love that armor. That and this, it was like my favorite too.
So that's pretty much it. We don't really have too much to say, guys. It's a slice of life, like they said. It has some. Yeah. It has our main characters touched on that a little bit, but that's kind of it. It's you watch it, you listen, you move on with your life. That's kind of it. You don't need to take anything too much from it.
That's right. And apparently, Sergeant Stacker has not gotten a promotion in 30 years or
I'm
whatever, however
sure
long he's
his
been in service.
Master
Poor
Sergeant
guy.
level. He definitely wasn't a Master Sergeant back then. I'd say he's definitely got a promotion somewhere along the line. Yeah.
Maybe not. I'm not good with ranking, so maybe not. But it's like it was like Sergeant Johnson, who never got 35 years of service, never got a promotion.
Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you very much for listening. We'll leave it there. I'm interested in the next one. The next one has a good vibe to it. So we're gonna, it's gonna be good. I think I'm looking forward to it.
We're almost there.
One more.
That's the last one, right?
There's another one that came out last week or the week before. We've one more.
Well, so I mean, we have one more.
I think
the next one is the last.
Yeah, our last two recordings, Dean, has been like, we're almost there. We got one more. And then they keep putting them out.
We're closing in very slowly.
It's March or April, so we'll get the April one done. And then we'll see if we get another. They did announce. Right. I might as well say it here because it wasn't our last show. They did announce that they're slowing down their cadence for Cannon Fodders. To every other month now, not every month. Because of all the stuff that they're working on, they say. So I wonder does that slow down these as well. But let's see how they go. I
would think so. I feel like these are just filler until we start getting actual content for the new game, which we haven't got anything yet at all. So which has got to be soon, I guess. Yeah. So I would imagine these are going to slow down. I would imagine these will slow down here. We should be towards the end, I would hope. Well, I guess I wouldn't say hope, but.
So everybody, thank you for joining us. Like I mentioned at the show, you can find all of our episodes over on our website, haloevolve.co. It also features links to our Discord server, Facebook group, Patreon page, and Xbox Live Club if you want to learn a little bit more at various other contact informations. Once again, special shout out to our patrons. Thank you so much. Patreon.com/haloevolve to learn more. If you are not a member and are interested, thank you very much. We also have the voicemail capability and functions. So should you like to leave us a call and anything Halo related, do give us a shout at 205-EVOLVED. It's 205-386-5833. And until next time, I've been your host David, and Evolved.
Evolved.